The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 1,208,024. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 22,304. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 6,872, with total confirmed deaths at 180. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Ben McCain. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, March 11th. Today marks the one-year anniversary of when the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a pandemic. In late February 2020, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warned the coronavirus would likely become a pandemic. Now, during the following 2 weeks, the world largely continued to function as normal. Travelers and events took place, which also helped fuel the rapid spread of the deadly virus. By March 11th, there had been 118,000 people confirmed with COVID-19 in 114 countries, and already 4,291 deaths attributed to the virus, many of which were in the Wuhan region of China. Now, 1 year later, Johns Hopkins University's Global Coronavirus Tracker reports more than 117 million cases of the coronavirus, killing more than 2.6 million people here in the U.S. 29 million COVID-19 cases have been confirmed to date, with more than 528,000 deaths related to the virus. Health officials say the pandemic phase of the coronavirus is likely to continue for some time, with the hopes of reaching herd immunity sometime later this year. President Joe Biden is scheduled to address the nation tonight to remember the lives lost and to introduce the next phase of his administration's COVID-19 response. This will be the president's first primetime address, slated to begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Beginning Monday, March 15th, Los Angeles County will expand COVID-19 vaccine eligibility, which means while more people will have access, there may be less vaccines available with more people seeking appointments. The next tier deemed eligible for the vaccine includes people ages 16 to 64 that are considered high risk for severe illness or death if they were to contract COVID-19. Health conditions include cancer, chronic kidney or pulmonary disease, a compromised immune system, organ transplant recipient, someone with Down syndrome, pregnancy, having a heart condition, severely obese, or have type 2 diabetes. California is finalizing its list of medical conditions that will qualify under this next tier. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti says he expects widespread vaccine availability by the summer as pharmaceutical companies ramp up production. Los Angeles County officials say they've received its largest shipment to date this week. Officials from the state's Department of Public Health held a press conference today to highlight the safety efficacy of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. While California's supply of the single-shot vaccine is limited for now, officials are eager to get the word out that its safety and efficacy is on par with Moderna and Pfizer. Initial data showed it had a slightly lower efficacy rate than the first shots produced by Moderna and Pfizer, but health officials say it is not inferior to the others. Dr. Mark Ghaly, California's Health and Human Services Agency Secretary, who also got his Johnson & Johnson vaccine today during the press conference, says the state is enthusiastic about how much faster they could get a single shot distributed, especially to vulnerable communities that might not otherwise have access to a vaccine. Officials confirmed the Johnson & Johnson shot is comparable to those made by Moderna and Pfizer, and to keep in mind the 1-dose versus 2-dose vaccines are like comparing apples to oranges, as the company's trials were conducted in different phases of the pandemic and during different times. The J&J vaccine can also be kept at normal refrigeration temperatures for 3 months, ideal for distribution at non-medical sites such as stadiums and convention centers. It's also said to have fewer side effects than other options. State health officials say as vaccines become readily available, to sign up, as that will be the best form of protection from the virus, no matter which vaccine you receive. As new coronavirus cases continue to slow down in long-term health care facilities, federal health officials are making it easier to visit family and friends in nursing homes. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released a revised 8-page guidance that expands in-person visitation rules while outdoor visits are preferred. Facilities are approved to provide responsible indoor visitations at all times and for all residents unless, of course, there is someone who tests positive or is in quarantine. But even so, the agency calls it compassionate care visits. When a resident's health has declined sharply, then visitors should be allowed at all times. Federal health officials say they recognize the psychological, emotional, and physical toll that prolonged isolation and separation from family has taken on nursing home residents and their families. The Senate confirmed the country's newest Attorney General, Merrick Garland, a veteran judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals for D.C. Circuit, was praised by members of both parties. He received a 70-30 vote and vowed to restore the Justice Department's reputation of independence. Many Republicans praised him, saying he has the right record and temperament for the moment. Even Mitch McConnell, who blocked Garland from becoming a Supreme Court justice in 2016, said he was voting to confirm Garland because of his long reputation as a straight shooter and a legal expert, that his left-of-center perspective was still within the legal mainstream. During Garland's confirmation hearing in February, he told lawmakers that as AG, one of his first priorities would be to combat extremist violence with an initial focus on the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Garland also emphasized his commitment to combating racial discrimination in policing and promised to prioritize confronting the rise in extreme violence and domestic terrorist threats. Garland, who was nearing his 24th anniversary as a federal appellate judge, formally resigned from the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals on Wednesday, sending a letter to President Joe Biden shortly before his confirmation. As Californians get ready to spring forward an hour this weekend, a group of lawmakers are hoping to make it the last clock change ever. A bipartisan bill was introduced to the Senate to keep daylight savings time so that come November, Americans won't have to fall back an hour. It's called the Sunshine Protection Act of 2021, and it would apply to states who participate in daylight savings time by negating standard time, which only lasts between November to March. According to the American Journal of Public Health and the Journal of Safety Research, if the bill passed, it would mean more daylight in the evenings, resulting in fewer pedestrian accidents and car crashes, along with the decrease in robberies, and best of all, kids would be able to play outside longer. In the meantime, be sure to turn the clocks forward 1 hour before going to bed on Saturday night. As the economy continues to open, more and more various sectors resume to normal operations. The city's enforcement of street sweeping signs and permit parking will also return. Beginning April 1st, enforcement of posted permit parking signs and posted no parking on street sweeping days will resume. Now there will be an initial grace period where warnings will be issued, but then beginning April 18th, those who violate the posted signs will be ticketed. Nearly a year ago, when the pandemic struck, the city suspended all street sweeping and parking enforcement as most of the world was on lockdown and many began working remotely from home. For questions, check out the city's Public Works page online at torranceca.gov. The City of Torrance celebrates Arbor Week here in Torrance, along with another major milestone. 21 dwarf fruit-bearing trees, including plum, grapefruit, apple, fig, peach, and apricot trees, are just a few of the ones that were planted today at Lago Seco Park. Now, while this was in conjunction with Arbor Week, the city also celebrates the centennial of its incorporation, which was 1921, hence the 21 trees. Now, the fruit trees are part of a greater movement called the Fallen Fruit. It's a collaborative art project that uses fruit as a common denominator in how to see the world. This movement was started in 2004 in Los Angeles with the mapping of public fruit trees that grow on public property. It invites people to experience their city as fruitful while sharing these abundant resources. Fallen Fruit has also worked with the LA County Arts Commission. Now, the Lago Seco Fruit Tree Trail is located around the perimeter of the community garden. Each tree will have a unique tag describing what it is and can be easily harvested when ripe. This was made possible thanks to the city's support, the Torrance Art Museum, Fallen Fruit, and Discover Torrance. Well, if you're looking for a way to volunteer or give back to the community, we've got a great opportunity to tell you all about. Seaside Heroes Park in Torrance hosts a cleanup event on the second Saturday of each month, and the next one takes place this Saturday, March 13th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Volunteers are welcome to join in a socially distanced beautification event. Everyone is advised to wear their mask while helping to pull weeds and clean up any debris. Heroes Park was established in 2011 and named after 3 local soldiers who lost their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan, and to honor all local veterans. It's located at 22851 Anza Avenue at the intersection of Lomita Boulevard. Volunteers are encouraged to bring their own tools and gloves. To learn more, check out their Facebook page at Seaside Heroes Park. Well, as we head into the weekend, be sure to tune in to Weekends in Torrance. New episodes air at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. This weekend, we visit Pelican Products to learn more about how they've continued to operate during the pandemic to manufacture products vital to first responders, emergency management personnel, law enforcement, and much more. Then, if you've wondered what the local fire department looks like, we're taking you inside for a virtual tour. Plus, as we mark the 1-year anniversary of the pandemic, if you're looking for a place to relax and rejuvenate, there's a local med spa you'll want to check out. So be sure to tune in this weekend at 2 p.m. You can find us on Spectrum Cable Channel 3, Verizon Fios Channel 31, streaming on our website as well as on YouTube. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. A Redondo Beach resident, who's also the block captain of her neighborhood watch, emailed our local police department along with neighboring agencies in Redondo, Hermosa, and Manhattan Beach, and several others to say thank you for their swift response in a recent incident. She said officers quickly responded to a 911 call regarding a shooting and pursuit of 4 suspects into her neighborhood. In a very short time, she said officers responded with drones, the K-9 unit, and SWAT, all proceeding to search house by house into the early hours of the next morning until all suspects were apprehended. She felt compelled to send a thank you letter to all the agencies who were involved, including those outside her city, as she saw the convergence of the teamwork and strength, all with the goal of protecting residents and the community. She went on to say it wouldn't be the safe place it is to live, work, and enjoy our families without the hard work of our police officers. What a great story and a great way to show appreciation for our local heroes who come to work each day to serve and protect. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, and photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 Today. We'll be back on Monday as Leslie Robbins returns to bring you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.